Hey, g'day, mate. How are you?
Fine, man. I'm fine. What are we, kittens? It's very...
I found this great book. It's, the pictures are fantastic. Wow. This one's really fluffy.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that.
Anyway,
oh,
how you doing?
Man. How you doing, man?
Let's go down to the movies. Let's go out tonight. Lightsabers flash and movies splash at the movies tonight. Screwhead and Avon, everybody come along. Grab some popcorn and your 3D goggles at the movies tonight.
Oh, that's what we needed.
Done.
That's right. It's movie night. It's movie night here on the Screwhead AF podcast. This originated because me and Avon were just like, well, this is my favorite worst bad movie of all time. And he's like, this is my favorite bad movie of all time. So, and then we forced each other to watch it. And we're like, all right, let's make a podcast on this. So
very likely films you've never seen. So there's going to be spoilers.
There's going to be spoilers. I'm not going to spoil too much because I want you to watch these movies. Actually, I don't. Yeah, you know what? I want you to watch at your own risk. How I should put this. All right, so the first movie we're going to be talking about is a wonderful movie called Flight of the Living Dead. It'll be splashed right here. Flight of the Living Dead. So the basic plot of this movie is there's some lady. There's some doctors and they're doing an experiment, right? Which is how all these zombie movies start, right? And the lady gets sick with the mutated form of the malaria virus, which
I think they're giving her a mutated form of the virus to try and resurrect her organs.
Right. But let's not spend any time talking about the fact that malaria is not a virus. Well, even for a second. But we're just gonna go with it, all right? So they get on a plane going across country, and this plane is full of the entire cast of the movie Airplane.
I'm glad someone said it.
Plus every stereotype that you could possibly imagine, every archetype, every single character from every bad horror movie you've ever seen is somehow on this plane.
And somehow almost all of them are completely unlikable.
Yes. Surprisingly, all of them are unlikable. And it's got all those guys from the movie The Mummy. But
yes.
If you watch it, you're going to go, oh yeah, wasn't that guy in The Mummy?
Yeah,
what's his name?
Oh, look, he never did anything again after this.
So shockingly. And so they're flying cross country, and then, of course, the woman wakes up. And
when you say the woman wakes up, she's in cryo freeze. Right?
Oh, yeah, right.
She's not just having a kip on. She's not on the seat. She's in the hold.
And let's also talk about that this is the biggest plane that has ever existed in the history of the world.
It's a 747. Technically.
And so she wakes, and then chaos erupts. The zombie outbreak obviously breaks out, and then they have to fight the zombie outbreak.
Yeah.
And then of course, I think that's pretty much the entire plot. And then the plane crashes in, and then the zombies get out of there, and that's pretty much it.
You haven't watched this in a long time, have you?
No, I literally watched this like 2 days.
You made me watch. Really?
Yeah, I watched it.
Were you asleep? You forced me to watch this, and you're like, this is kind of the plot, whereas I can give you a granular breakdown with time codes of what happened.
I mean, it's really the plot. The plot is, plane takes off, zombies, oh, we can't let the plane land, there's zombies, we have to shoot the plane, plane crashes, zombies everywhere. I mean, that's, the storyline is not what makes this movie great. I'm actually curious. Avon, you said that you were going to thrash this movie. I'm going to give you a couple key points, and I want to see if you have thrashing notes on these. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the zombie hole
in the floor. Which one?
The zombie
because
hole.
It sounds like an OnlyFans account.
There's a point where the zombies like rip the floor of the plane out, and then for some reason everybody runs
And just
over
keeps
the
falling
damn
in the
hole.
zombie hole.
Oh,
There's just a hole between the aisles for no good reason, and everyone just keeps
Right.
falling in it. It might as well
And
be
it's like-
lava or fire, but everyone's going to fall in it. It's the magnetic zombie hole.
you gotta watch out for the zombie hole, man. And there's
No
like
one
50
does.
guns on this plane. Like, there's so many guns on this plane.
The amount of bullets that are loosed on this plane, and not a single one goes through the plane.
None
They
of them-
go into important communications equipment, other people. That shot through the floor and through the steward. Oh. That's one of two highlights for this film. Because it was unexpected and had nothing to do with zombies. And it was just well done.
And the guns are those infinite ammo guns, too. The ones that are like...
Oh, no, there's a bit of actual reloading, and they actually talk about... There's a really awkward scene where they're saying, how many bullets have you got left? How many rounds have you got left? And he goes, I've got 4 and a full mag. The other guy says, I've got a full mag and 4. It's like... Okay, yes, excellent. I love your granular round counting. I think they're supposed to be showing that they are people who know to, count their shots. But sake, there's 14. I've got some. I've got not enough to deal with a zombie apocalypse. You might as well say none.
They stack the luggage up and they're doing this. Like all the heroes are in the back of the plane and they have luggage stacked up to protect them from all the zombie chaos going on in the plane. I mean, these zombies are just like mauling people. They're like ripping like 2-inch steel plating, flooring apart. All up. And they've got this luggage stacked up in the corner. And it's enough protection that they can have several heartfelt, long conversations about.
Oh, and my favorite line in Kevin O'Connor playing Frank. There's always a convict on the plane. He's being transported to France, but he's not a bad convict. You think he's supposed to be, but he's a tax fraud guy. He's ripped off the mob or something. And he, has anyone got anything sharp on them? And I'm going to read this line because he says, they confiscated my toenail clippers, pearl handles, matching tweezers. Quite lovely. In the middle of a zombie battle. It's just... he's the savior of this film, as far as I'm concerned. He's not camp. It's just the way he delivers the lines. They're so good.
And for anybody who doesn't know, that's the guy from one of the guys from The Mummy.
Yes.
When you see him, you're gonna be like, wasn't that Weasley guy in The Mummy?
In The Mummy,
that's him.
and everything else. And one of the few people in this film who's done anything else since it. Including the director,
Bunny Way,
who'd done nothing since.
Well,
sorry.
I mean, you can't forget about Bunny Way guy though.
Bunny Way guy, Eric Avari.
Yeah.
Do we tell this story or not?
Yeah, I'll tell the story. Like
my partner and I, whenever we talk about Eric Avari, and you'll know him as the gentleman the actor who comes from India, who's in everything with quite a large head, proud features and a beard. In the Stargate movie, they give him a chocolate bar for the first time. He's from another planet, and he eats it and goes, Bunny Way. Bunny Way. And from then, in the house, he's just been called Bunny Way Guy because we can never remember his name. Sorry, Eric. He's the investor in hoping it works, and he's been backing them. So they're taking the research, including the lady in the sarcophagus. Let's go with cryo-freeze.
Cryo-freeze.
To another country where they can do their unregulated experiment. That's the loose plot.
The Marshal, the one that's just like the creep. Entire movie until he's there.
He was unpleasant.
Are you guys cool? This dude's a creep, man. Nope, he's a Marshal.
No, he's a Marshal, yeah. And no, I liked Truman. Chisholm, what's his first name? The actor. I'm going to look at my notes. I'm going to cheat. He reminds me of like a young, weird Nathan Fillion brother. David Chisholm. He was okay in it. He seemed to be like one of those actors they put into a film and probably wondered halfway through, why am I doing this?
Right.
My acting level is up here and everyone else is kind of like, oh my God, something's happening. Don't look at the camera. Oh, I looked at the camera. There's a lot of that.
That's the best thing about that movie. One of the better things is like there are some standout actors in it. Then there's some like really good acting, but the other acting is so bad that it's just so transparent.
Megan, who's Kristen Coe plays Megan. She did a really good job. Like she had a nothing role, which was flight attendant who survives longer than the other flight attendants. But she was also really good. I mean, for what the film was.
Because I have an ending point that like is by far my favorite scene in the whole movie. So I'm gonna let you badmouth the movie first. All right, so bring it to me.
I've got some notes because I'm not going to remember all this. No, it's not hate. It's just as someone who's made a schlock horror film. We should watch that because we can't get a content strike on it.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we should watch that and talk about that.
It's all 15 minutes long. We can watch it. Okay, anyway. My first comment was where was Brad Dourif? Because film needed Brad Dourif.
Of course. Oh, then the pilot starts the flight like, this is my last flight. You're like, everybody's gonna die.
Yeah, I'm 45 minutes from retirement, but isn't this a 3-hour flight? My first note was I don't know what sort of movie they were trying to make. Because the movie's an hour and a half long. Nothing happens until the last 30 minutes. Like the first bit is all character setup, but you don't like any of the characters.
No.
And there's not enough setup. I mean, yes, it sets up how they're going to battle at the end, but so it's 36 minutes from the end before you actually see a zombie. Well, see more than one zombie that's just creeping around.
Yeah, I was like, you definitely see more than one zombie early on. Like, let's not.
There's one zombie.
She's a great zombie.
She is a great zombie, but it's a zombie film. Okay, so zombie singular. It's 36 minutes from the end before there's any zombies. 24 minutes from the end, the heavy metal music starts to indicate that stuff's getting happening.
There are 565 characters to introduce the movie before they can get to that.
My thoughts were this film could only be improved by making it worse. Because I think they were really trying to pitch for a half-decent zombie film when they really probably should have gone with just dumb zombie film, and I think it really would have like hit all the cylinders, you know? The plane explosively decompresses twice. During the film, for plot reasons, there's a lot of lightning and storm action.
Well, yeah.
Outside the plane, occasionally you get a bit of... Inside the plane, it's a non-stop strobe. It's got a strobe going the whole time.
That's because when the zombies broke up through the ground in the zombie hole, they grabbed the wiring.
A nightclub. Yeah.
Right.
The wiring. I made a note on the wiring. Yep. Yeah.
Because they grabbed the 50,000 miles of wiring. They grabbed one piece of that. And clearly that was the strobe effect light. Come on,
they didn't just grab it. They cut it neatly.
Well, yeah.
So when Frank tears the wires out of the ceiling when he's trying to do something, they're all neatly cut. And then every other time you see wires hanging from the ceiling, they're all neatly cut. There's no... the pilot, the about to retire pilot, when he's going to navigate around the worst storm in galactic history, gives the vague thing, I'm going to go left a bit, not I'm going to bear X amount of compass degrees, whatever. I'm going to go left a bit.
Well, that's it. Let's get over the fact that like any pilot would just be like, we're in a storm. Let's go up further, and now we're out of the storm.
I think they said they couldn't. There was some reason they couldn't climb high. It was a trillion miles. It went into space, but left a bit is fine. And somehow they're traveling from, pardon me, I think it was LA to Paris, but they end up over Yellowknife in Canada, going right over 3 or 4 other major airports. So he went left a lot. He went left an awful lot.
Well, and then they go left enough that they can crash land into a desert.
So True. Well, I guess he went right again at some point. No, he turned around. He said, I'm turning the plane around.
He just kept going left. He just turned the stick and just did a big circle like 6 times. Like, poor Steven.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to end this episode right here. We talked too long about Flight of the Living Dead already. I think this is going to be like a 45-minute episode, but it's actually longer than the movie itself. But so once the chaos starts, and the annoying teenagers have officially died, because every movie has to have annoying teenagers. And the nun has fallen on the floor and been dragged into the zombie hole. Right. Yeah. After trying to save somebody for no reason whatsoever. And they've killed off all the other archetypes, and the poor Asian zombie businessman is strapped to his chair, and and Avon alluded to it, he can't get anybody. I mean, that's all a zombie wants, right?
Everyone keeps running past, and he's like, "Oh no!" But he's fastened his seatbelt appropriately, so he can.
Well, and the jet fighter flies up and shoots the missile, which causes the second explosive decompression in the plane. And it, of course, dislodges the Asian businessman from his... He's still strapped in his seat, but it dislodges the seat, and you see the seat get sucked out. And then it's the best scene in the movie when the pilot's like... And here comes the Asian businessman in his seat, flying at the jet. And the guy goes...